Hey, how are you? I'm doing good, and I can't wait to tell you about all the cool things that I learned about this semester. First off, I think what I really loved about the very beginning of this class is the self-awareness that we learned about, the narration of telling our own personal story, and what it means to be what kind of person we are, and how you can better understand why I am the way that I am. And so it's always been important to me to be able to tell your story because I've volunteered with the oral histories program at the Shands Cancer Hospital, and it was really important to me then to be able to listen to other people's stories. I feel that it helps people to understand each other better, and so I really liked this semester being able to learn how to tell my story, learning how to know my own core values, because that's really a question that I'd only start to think about this past summer when I was applying to medical school. And so being able to talk about my core values was really important. That's something I learned about how to do in this class. And I feel that finding one's identity is really important in order to become a stronger leader for tomorrow. In the future, as a doctor, I want to be able to be self-aware so that it will allow me to be a more authentic doctor so that my patients can trust. And the second thing I want to talk about was authenticity. In leadership development class, I first learned about authenticity and how to be an authentic leader. And it really struck a really good chord with me because that's the kind of person that I am. I like to be as genuine and as honest as possible. And so in this class, I was able to go further with that idea that first drew me to the leadership minor in the first place. And I learned how to become more in depth with what it means to be an authentic leader, which we learned about different ways on how to be authentic. For example, self-regulation. On the flip side, I learned that I can still be an authentic leader while using emotional intelligence to self-regulate my own impulsive emotions and to be able to empathize with my followers and be able to understand them better. This is called differentiation and attunement. And I thought those were really cool concepts I had never heard before. Because before this class, I did not realize that a leader can use these skills. I think what differentiation means is that when you listen to another person, you hold back your own emotions in order to reflect the emotions of another person. It may not mean that you agree with the person, but that you agree how they feel. It is discretion that allows you to determine what feelings you want to evoke or mirror in order to help the person process through the conversation. And I think this is what's really important about being a leader, is being able to help someone process through that kind of emotions that they have and what they think. Truly empathizing with someone allows authenticity and influences other people. I would hope to use differentiation and attunement to make me a better doctor so that I'm more in tune with my patients. I also like to learn this past semester about my own personal strengths and how to create a space for others to learn their strengths too. I think it's really important for leaders to be able to empower the individual. That way they can spark that common goal that the followers and the leaders have. I also like learning this semester about my moral compass. I learned how to define what I think is morally right that can enable me to be more authentic as a leader. A very big part about this semester that I really loved talking about was the hardiness and resilience, because this is something that isn't talked about a lot in school or in other classes, but it's something that's really important as a leader, because how can you be a strong leader if you can't be resilient and hardy both in the sunshine and the rain? It's how other people can be motivated to continue on when you're being resilient in very hard times. I think it's important because what makes me more resilient is my relationships with other people. So when during the hardship challenge, I felt I was more resilient as a leader and as an individual when I was with my other partner. And I feel like when I'm a leader, that's how I want to be able to show my resilience, is with my relationships with others. And so finally, just to wrap this little video up, is that I think what's the most important thing to interpersonal leadership? It's relationships. And that right there is the solid foundation of this entire class and of my own personal leadership philosophy. at the base of relationships, power ensues. As a leader, as a follower, and two things that I'd like to think about in my leadership philosophy is love and empathy, because these are two very important values of mine that I hold as a strength for my own personal self. It Love and empathy is something that comes natural to me, so it makes me more authentic, and my relationships with others is what makes me a better and stronger leader. And so, for my quote, I was looking on Pinterest and I found this one, and it says, "One of the best feelings in the world is knowing your presence and absence both mean something to someone." And so, what I kind of take this to mean is that you may not realize that you're making a difference in the lives of other people, but regardless of your sister or your mailman or your grocer at the grocery store, or even the person that you're trying to teach in class if you're a teacher, or your patient as a doctor, you are making a difference in their world in some way, and that you have the power to be able to lead them to something that's a common goal or something that's positive. And I feel that this is something that you can practice, that anyone can practice. So I kind of like that as my quote. And thank you for listening, and I really enjoyed your class. All right, bye.